Hi there, my name is Roger Fothergill, and if you've already seen some of the videos, you'll know that I'm speaking from the Scottish Highlands and should be out in Africa at the moment, but because of the pandemic, I'm here. I would be in little mud hut churches in remote Uganda and telling the folks the stories of Jesus, which are found in the Gospels and which I absolutely love, and I can't help sharing them with people because I think they're so packed full of wonderful teaching. But more than that, the Gospels are like a floodlight on the Lord and show us Him in all His magnificence and beauty. I want to show you something very briefly from John chapter 20. Mary Magdalene, is outside the tomb. Jesus has risen from the dead, so He's not there. And she's crying. Her world has fallen apart. And I think that's very significant. I love Mary Magdalene's heart here, that Jesus is not there, so her whole world has fallen apart. I just want to ask you, if it was possible that, if you're a Christian and it was possible for Jesus to leave, I wonder how long it might take you to realize that He's not there. Many of us, I think, several weeks or months could even go by before we realize He's not there. But Mary Magdalene was in this situation where her Lord was not there, and her life had fallen apart. She'd looked inside the tomb, and another thing about the tomb was that the grave clothes were folded up. Now, the body of Jesus couldn't have been stolen, because either they would have taken the body with the clothes on, or if they had to take clothes off the body, they would have just thrown them in there in a mess. But no, the grave clothes were neatly folded up, further proof that Jesus rose from the dead. So Mary Magdalene's outside, and somebody comes up to her, and she doesn't look round immediately. She thinks he's the gardener. And it's actually Jesus risen from the dead. And he says to her, "Woman, who are you looking for?" Now, for so many of us, the question isn't who, it's what are you looking for? What are you looking for? Well, I need a husband, I need a wife, I need a house to live in, I need a job, I need money, I need this, that, and the other. But Jesus doesn't ask her that question. He simply says, "Who are you looking for?" And she said, if you know where they have put his body, because she's thinking he's the gardener, if you know where they have put his body, please tell me and I'll go and get it. And then Jesus just says one word, her name, Mary. And it's quite probable that it would have been in Aramaic, which is Miriam. Now, I live in Scotland here, and I immediately notice if somebody's talking to me and they've got an English accent. It's just not like the local people who have a Scottish accent. You notice the difference. And Jesus would have had an accent of speaking. He would have been speaking in Aramaic, and he's from the Galilee area. And she would immediately pick that up. She knew immediately who is speaking to her. And she turns round and she says, "Rabboni," which is Aramaic for a teacher. And suddenly her whole life goes from being broken apart, absolutely bereft, to having her Lord back again. I want to ask you, do you know what it's like to have the presence of Jesus in your life? He's our Saviour, and His presence is everything. And if we lose that sense of His presence, of course we won't do, because He's promised never to leave us. So we won't experience that we get that feeling sometimes that He's not there. But that's not the truth, because He is there. He's promised never to leave us or forsake us. Just to know His presence. That's the wonderful thing about being a Christian. We can know His presence and His love in our lives, even when things are going terribly wrong, which in the world at the moment, they are going very badly wrong with this COVID-19 epidemic. I'll come out with another story soon. If you'd like to listen, you'll find it on the next one. Lovely talking to you. God bless you.